Context switching.
You are listening to the Female Entrepreneurs Network podcast, and today we're going to start with a little riddle for you. Do you know what takes an average of 23 minutes and 50 seconds? I'll give you a hint. It's not watching an episode of Friends, it's not baking a perfect batch of chocolate chip cookies, although those will both take an average of 23 minutes as well. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind when I tell you what it is. It is the time that it's taking you to fully regain focus on a task after you've been distracted. Let that sink in for a moment. It will take you the entire episode of The One with the Monkey to get back into your task after you've been distracted. And I see so many entrepreneurs do this. They keep their email open while working on copy. Pling! Distracted. It takes your productivity down big time, and that's a big shame because you deserve it to work less and to enjoy your free time more. So, in this episode, I'm going to go over a few strategies to help you focus more and regain your time. If that doesn't sound like music to your ears, I don't know what will. You know, you can use the time to doom scroll on Instagram for more hours that day, or even better, you have some more time to spend on tasks that will directly impact your revenue in a positive way. So stay tuned if you want to make massive steps in your productivity. Hi, I'm Ayla, and for over a decade I've been dedicated to helping entrepreneurs thrive. Welcome to the Female Entrepreneurs Network podcast. Here we focus on personal growth so your business can grow alongside you. Discover how to optimize your business, elevate your mindset, and truly feel and act like a CEO. This is more than just business, it's about transforming your entire entrepreneurial journey. Join me on this path to unlock your fullest potential. Welcome back to the show. You made it again. I'm so happy and thankful that you're here. It's actually fun. I've been uploading the first few episodes of this podcast to, Spotify and Apple Podcasts, where you listen to your podcasts. And I've had people, that's really cool because, you can see the stats, of course, and I can also hear reactions. So I know that there are some people from my friends and family that are listening, but I also know it's not the entire amount of listeners. And that's so cool because that means the podcast is actually being listened to by, hopefully, female entrepreneurs out there. And I hope it's helping you. And I'm so grateful that you're here. So, yeah, I'm going to get into a good one today about
Context switching.
And the funny thing is, I prepared this podcast earlier this week, and this morning I was in bed, doom scrolling. Oops. And I saw a TED Talk, completely forgot all the names of the people that were involved, but she was talking about context switching as well. And she had some examples where they actually went into the scientific part of it and how switching between tasks. And she had insane numbers for this. She said that we, on average, check our email like 74 times a day, and that we, throughout the day on our computers, switch tasks about 560 times. Something outrageous like that. That's insane. And then she had someone come in and he talks about how it's taking up literal brain energy, like I don't know about science, but something neurological energy. Sorry. Neurological energy or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it's literally taking the energy of your brain, which means that it's not just a mental thing to become exhausted after switching tasks, but it's physically not helping you either. It's literally taking away from your creative brain space. So it was funny to see that come along while I had this recording planned for today. Yeah, I get into it. Many entrepreneurs do it, and maybe even women brag about it while they're at it. Seriously, from now on, take note. When you hear people do this, you'll notice it immediately. They are talking about how great they are at multitasking. And I think it's especially women who do this because men are basically fine with their single-minded brain, I guess. But many women actually take pride in juggling all the balls at the same time. And I've got to be honest, it's me too, if I'm not mindful about it. I've got to physically lock my phone away because my brain seeks a distraction when I need to think hard about something. Which, that by the way, that's a subject for another episode, because it's funny how that works, how your brain, like the moment you need to work for something, your brain just goes, nope, I'm going to shut down and doom scroll a bit because I don't want to work today. But that's, as I said, that's for another episode. So when I'm not mindful about it, I will grab my phone and randomly unlock it in the hopes of something distracting me. And it usually works because these babies are made to distract you. So if that is what you do too, you might want to change your tune after you hear this episode. Because you see, it's costing you your productivity when you switch tasks all the time. You probably saw that coming, but I don't know if you know how much, because it's 40% of your productivity, no less. And please don't just listen to that number and go, oh yeah, 40%. Numbers. 40% is almost 50%. And 50% is the half of your time. The half of your time you're losing in productivity when you switch tasks all the time. Okay, you got that? If you're multitasking your way through your days, you could be done in almost half the time if you were to switch less between tasks. And it's not only time related, but you will get stupider with each hour that you're doing this. You're basically exhausting your brain by going ping pong between all kinds of tasks. And with each switch, you're gonna lose more focus, which means that the tasks that you've planned for the end of your day are gonna feel the impact from your task switching the most. You'll be unable to get into a flow, deep concentration, and some tasks ask that of you, that you actually give it your focus and concentration. So you're not doing your brain a favor if you are switching between tasks all the time. For me, I can play nice, but as I said, I need to be mindful about it. I can do it, but I need to go sit behind my desk and consciously make a decision that today I'm not going to multitask. I'm going to focus on my to-do list. Every day I create a task list with the most important tasks that are going to have the biggest impact on my business. And that's what I'm going to focus on. Like, those 3 things have priority. And for those 3 tasks, I need to consciously decide, okay, I'm going to do these 3 tasks now, and I'm not going to let my brain go, ooh, look, a squirrel. It's just, no, we're going to do this. So when I multitask, when I not make this decision to actually focus, I'm not aware of doing it, because I just go sit behind my desk and I just go, ooh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Or basic mistake, I start up with my email and then go from there. And I only notice it usually after a few hours, because I will get irritated. I'll get the feeling that things are not going well, they're not going fast enough, or that my to-do list is not slinking down enough. Sometimes I get the feeling that I'm stuck on this one stupid task that I quickly wanted to get done before getting into other fun tasks. An example for me is content creation. I'm still a bit unsure about how I want to handle my new Instagram account. So before I make a post or plan a post or think about a post, I'll often get onto Instagram, air quotes, to get inspiration. And I'm air quoting that because I know how stupid that is. I know. Instagram is designed to be a distraction and not inspiration. Why the hell I do it, I don't know. It's beyond me. But I will fall into my timeline. I'll get sucked into Reels, and at the end of it, I still have no clue what I'm gonna post. It costs me 10 minutes. I have no results. This is an obvious one. But I had a colleague who, she swore by her own system. She didn't keep a to-do list at all, which, as you can hear from my voice, amazes me. I need lists for everything because things will fall out of my head if I don't keep it in a list. But she worked from her inbox. Maybe that's you. I don't know. It could be. It's, for many reasons, it's not the way to go. And one of those reasons is that you are constantly jumping from task to task, because you get an email from your accountant and you put on your finance hat, and you get an email from an unhappy client and you put on your customer relations hat, etc., etc., etc. So you would be better able to give your accountant a straight and wise answer if you handled their email in your weekly designated finance date. You see what I did there? I referenced to a previous episode. So, yay, I have previous episodes. The same goes for your unhappy customer. Will they really be satisfied if your mind is still half in your finances for your accountant? And maybe you're not really in like a service-minded space, a help modus that they actually deserve when they get an answer from you. So it's not only yourself that you're impacting with your multitasking, it's your client, it's your team, maybe it's even your family. And yes, I know that moms, they can cook and clean and talk and paint the ceiling and wipe the baby's nose and run a business at the same time without spilling a drop. I can do that too. But that you can doesn't mean that you should. So, let's talk about how you can regain your precious time and become happier all around. These 4 tips will help you start along, but I think that the main issue with this is, as I stated before, be mindful about it. Make a decision that you are going to focus on one task at the same time. Put away your phone. Control X your email to actually shut it off and not close it but let it reload in the background. You can even hang a do not disturb plate on your door if you want to. If you take this seriously, you've already ran half the race, really. If I'm gonna get a metaphor into this, imagine that you're in the gym and you're warming up for a workout. So you did, like I always do, the elliptical for 10 minutes to sort of get my body warm and running before I go into weightlifting. But imagine warming up for a workout and then you go sit on a bench and check your email and social media for half an hour and then you go do your workout. It doesn't make sense because you went to warm up. So you gotta finish the job because your body is counting on you to do that. Otherwise, you might as well do a new warming up. And this is exactly what happens when you start a task, distract yourself, need to get back into it, etc., etc. You want to warm up your brain for a task and then actually benefit from your own IQ because you're smart. You can do this. Okay, so be mindful about it. 4 other things that will help you win this race. Number 1, batching tasks. Anyone with a social media account that's fairly active will probably know the term batching content. But you can batch much more than just your content for social media. The example I used before is handle your accountant on your financial moment. You keep your customer emails in a folder and you handle them all at once at one designated moment when you put your service hat on. Sorry, I don't know why I keep talking about hats, but it's just, it's a metaphor. You prepare your podcasts 3 in a row. You meal prep your lunches. Don't let yourself be held back by the boundaries of business. You can apply this everywhere. For example, I only do the laundry on Wednesdays and Saturdays. It's bad luck for anyone who wants their favorite shirt on a Monday, because I will be doing laundry all the beautiful day long, and I don't want that. I actually implemented this system because I felt like I was going crazy. I saw my family outside doing all kinds of fun stuff, and every day I was indoors going, oh yeah, but I just need to clean this. Oh yeah, but I will come outside, but I'll just need to do this. And then at one point I just said, okay, stop. This is not working. I'm gonna batch household tasks. You just see what tasks you can put together and then you stick to that. You focus on that for a designated time, and I swear to you, you will very quickly notice how much more you will get done when you do this and when you stick to it. That's the most important thing. Stick to it. Don't, if you're in your email for the customer service emails, don't get distracted by an email from your accountant. Put him in your finance folder and save him for later. If this is something that bothers you, you can actually put something in your signature from your email where you can quickly explain that you are being mindful of your time and that it might take you more than 5 minutes for people to get back to you. The other way around, but you know what I mean. Okay, second tip. These are deep work sessions. And this is where that do not disturb placard on your door comes in handy. I remember a time when I was very desperate. I was desperate for a deep work session and my boss denied me. I was working at a company, sort of like Miss Multitask Marvel. I was the only person in there doing all the back of the house. We were a growing company, growing recruitment company, and there were 25 guys, seriously, just guys, doing the recruitment, doing the sales, and then there was me to do the back office. I built up the entire back office from scratch, and we hired along as we grew. But it also meant that it was a very salesy company, so all the guys would be on the floor together, not separate offices, but you probably know the type of office where they all sit together and cheer each other on when a deal is made and stuff like that. And I was sitting there as well, like in the, how do you say it, like the bullpen with all the guys. But I was not doing sales, I was doing the finances of the company. And by then, I think it was already like a million plus per year company. And I was doing the invoicing and stuff for that in the middle of guys making guy jokes and cheering each other on and making fun of each other. And so I was really desperately in need for some deep work sessions because I had to get through like stacks of invoices and everything needed to be checked thoroughly. It's finance, so you can't just eyeball it. And I could not have an office because in the spirit of a growing company, we all wanted to be together. And I was young and inexperienced and I went along with it. And then, so what I actually did one day, I was going nuts. I think it was like a Friday afternoon, and everybody was on it for the weekend, and people were hardly working. And I had to finish like this big stack of invoices before the end of the week. And I was absolutely not allowed to work with my earbuds in, to listen to music and to basically drown out noise with other noise. But that afternoon, I just went rebel and I did it anyway. I put in my earbuds with music, and it was very annoying because people wanted to talk to me all the time anyway, even though they could see from my facial expression and my earbuds that I was sending out a signal, but they didn't get it. And I actually, at one point, I got so crazy that I wrote "Do Not Disturb" on a piece of paper, like an A4 paper, so it was not a post-it, but it was like a big thing, and I taped it onto myself. So I was sitting there in the corner of the office with my earbuds in, my face focused on the screen, and I stuck a "Do Not Disturb" sign onto myself because that was the only way for me to get into the deep work for the moment that I could. They were not happy with my attitude, but I said, well, screw you, because I need to focus on this. So to get back to the tips, seriously, get a "Do Not Disturb" thing for on your door. Allow yourself designated time slots for deep work because it will get you to the other side of the task so much better and so much faster. And the more often you will do this, the more trained your brain gets as well. You'll notice, if you block this on your calendar, for example, you'll notice the first few times you need to struggle and you want to grab your phone and you want to distract yourself. But the more often you do this, it's going to be easier. You're going to sit down and your brain just goes, "Ooh, yeah, we're going to do deep work session right now." And then it just automatically shuts out all the distractions anyway. It doesn't take you that much effort anymore to get into the zone because your brain is anticipating the zone. So that's great. Alrighty. Tip number 3. Delegate, outsource. There it is again. I wonder if there will ever be an episode where I'm not going to go out promoting the wonderful concept of outsourcing tasks, because I live for outsourcing. Outsourcing tasks makes sure that there are parts of your business that you need to focus less on. So you'll literally, physically have less tasks to switch between. That's a difficult sentence for me in my English. Less tasks to switch between. Good, you know what I mean. If you're going to do this, just make sure that you're going to follow up with tip number 4 when it comes to outsourcing, because otherwise you will be none the better for it. and it is set clear boundaries. When you outsource, when you work with a team, heck, even when you work from home and you have kids running around, setting boundaries will help you switch tasks less. Switching boundaries, no, I'm not gonna get this right. Setting boundaries will help you switch less between tasks. I'm gonna pick an easier topic next time. There are every once in a while I see this sort of joke coming by again, how there are two kinds of people and you are either one or the other. You have a clean phone or you will have red dots with all around your apps with numbers in them for unread messages and updates and whatnot. I am most definitely a clean screen kind of gal. I can absolutely not handle a notification. I can't handle a ping, a red dot, a little bell sign, nothing, because I need to know immediately. I need to know. So when I'm working with a team in Slack, for example, I need to actually close it off. Turning off the sound is not enough because the tab will actually display some kind of icon when someone sends me a message and I will get distracted. If you are like that too, or if you've made it this far into this podcast, you need to do that too. Because if you've made it this far, it means that you want to get more productive. And if you want to get more productive, you need to get less distracted. And there is absolutely zero shame in letting your team know that you are logging off for a few hours. If you are blocking your calendar, you lock your door, you turn off your phone, it doesn't matter. In the end, everyone will benefit from it. Just make sure you communicate it to the world before you do it. Otherwise, you're just be rude or you have kids banging on your door, stuff like that. So just let the people know that you're gonna do it. All right, that's it for today. Remember, batching, deep work, delegate, and setting boundaries. And if you have another way that's working really well for you, I'd love to hear it. I'm always looking to make improvements. And one last thing that entered my mind is, it might help you as well, gamify it. Your brain loves games. So if you can't part from your phone for too long, an app like the app Forest might help you. I feel like maybe I don't have to explain what it is because it's been around for quite a while by now. But you plant a tree and if you touch your phone before it's done growing, it dies. It's horrible. Don't be a tree killer. Leave your phone alone. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I'd love to hear it if you listen to it because, as I said, I have people listening to it that I don't know and it's so fun. So come find me on Instagram. I'm at Ayla Den Hartog. I'm not going to spell that out for you, but I'll put the link in the show notes. I'd love to see you over there. I'd love to see you subscribe to the newsletter as well, if you'd like to. The link is in the show notes as well. I am getting back into storytelling, and I'm absolutely loving it. I might make another episode about it. I got inspired recently by Laura Belgray because I felt so stuck in content creation about feeling the need to give out value with every word you write. But I really just love the process of creative writing and telling stories. And she's showing me a way how I can do that. And I'm absolutely loving it. And I'm putting it into action for the newsletter. So if you like funny stories that will help you in your business at the same time, subscribe to the newsletter and then I'll see you over there. All right. Thank you so much and have a lovely day. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Female Entrepreneurs Network podcast. I hope you loved what you heard today. And if you did, it would mean a world to me if you could leave a review. Because believe it or not, reviews on podcasts are actually still used to make sure more people get to see this podcast in their screens and maybe click on it and learn something as well. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.